What's up, everyone? We are back in the bar. Indie Creators, how's it going?
Well, I'm doing great. I don't know how are you doing, Arshan?
I'm phenomenal. That was John Baltz. My name is Arshan, and we're back. We have a great show for you today. We had a little discussion with our good friend Grace Weber. Shortly after this podcast, she actually won the Artist on the Verge prize at New Music Seminar here in New York City. So that's a pretty big deal, and we're really excited to have her on. She talks about...
Hold on. Who? Because last year was Action Bronson.
Yeah.
Who won this award, and he's been on to bigger and better things.
It's kind of a big deal.
He's starting rap beefs and hanging out with Mario Batali now. Grace is going to have a beef with another soul singer and maybe a celebrity chef friend.
That's true.
If we're going to keep it going.
What we're trying to say is if you haven't heard of her yet, you're going to hear about her soon.
100%.
Yeah.
But before we get to our conversation with Grace, let's take care of some business. The Indie Creators podcast, as always, is brought to you by INDMUSIC, the global rights administration network that is helping independent artists all over the globe collect money everywhere they can that they normally can't, basically. So if you have a YouTube, SoundCloud, Vessel, Dailymotion account, and you're thinking, hey, what am I going to do with this? Contact INDMUSIC. We'll have a link for you in the description where you can find those guys. And we always, as always, thank you for their support.
Thanks a lot, everyone.
Yeah.
Enjoy the show.
It's kind of... They are actually doing a small music festival in Liberty, New York. Yeah,
sweet.
They've got some bands playing. They're doing it in a barn. Should be pretty cool.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the Outlier guys know what they've got going on.
Is that the town that it was in, Liberty?
No, it's not. I think it was, what was it, Middlebrook, New York?
Woodridge.
Woodridge, New York.
Woodridge.
Woodridge, New York.
Yeah.
That's right.
Are we recording?
Yeah, of course we're recording.
Awesome. All right.
Always record. Tenacious D taught me that.
So we've started. We're here in the bar with the fabulously talented Grace Weber.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hey, guys.
How's it going today?
It's good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a hot summer day.
Oh my
What is
gosh.
it, June?
It is June.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of Northside Festival here in Brooklyn. And so we've got bands and not bands and other musical artists and a few tech people out here. And everyone's having a grand old time.
All kinds of fun stuff. And we thought it'd be a good time to catch up with our good friend Grace. She's got a couple shows coming up in the city. She has her new album out, The Refinery. If you guys haven't checked it out yet, make sure to go grab it. But yeah, Grace, how's it going? How have you been since we last saw each other? You've done a bunch of shows. You've been touring a lot.
Yeah, life has been really good. We got to do, the band and I have been touring.
You can
Come a
get
little
right on
closer.
that microphone. That microphone wants to hear you so bad.
Hello. The band and I have been touring around the country. We did Art Basel in December,
Nice.
opened for
Very cool.
FKA Twigs and James Blake, which was like nuts. And I got to hang out with James Blake, which kind of made my entire year. So that alone was like a win. But beyond that, we did the BuzzFeed Holiday Party, which was amazing, opening for Bad Rabbits. Did Sundance Film Festival, performed out there. Went out to Seattle, did some shows there. And just have been like going from coast to coast doing shows, which has been incredible.
That's
so it's
amazing,
been really,
yeah.
really good.
Yeah, the album's really like taken off pretty quickly, I think. And it was like, it's a lot of success coming from that. But we wanted to sort of like give people a bigger picture of like where Grace came from. We know that you're from Wisconsin, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But how did this all start? What made you want to like be a recording artist? Was there a moment?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this is the answer I always give, but
That's
I
okay.
don't remember starting to sing. It just was like talking for me.
Right.
I mean, and my parents used to say that I would sing around the house, like everything that I was doing, I would sing in songs. I'd be like, now I'm walking to the bathroom, and now I'm putting on a shirt, now I'm putting on my shoes.
My son started to do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
I hope he puts out a good album.
Right?
I don't know.
No, it's great. It's a really cool. I don't know. It's great to see him expressing himself like that at such a young age.
Is one son or do you
One
have
son.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, my older siblings would like yell at me to stop. They'd be like, "Shut up, please stop singing." So he's lucky that he has two parents that are not discouraging.
Oh
him.
no, we yell at him. We yell at him a lot
You
all the
know, no,
time.
you're like, oh, no,
I mean,
wait.
I feel like you have to imbue some darkness into someone's art.
Yeah.
So we try real hard to make sure that he is
Well-rounded.
properly stifled.
But it sounds like your parents encouraged your singing.
Oh yeah. No, they were amazing. My mom comes from a family of 10 kids, and my grandpa was a musician. So he made all of his kids learn an instrument growing up. So it was kind of like the Von Trapp family band a little bit in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
So what did your mother play then?
My mom played violin.
Ah,
Yes.
that's a good one.
And
Not
she's
fiddle? Violin?
Not fiddle. I think it's just straight violin.
Okay. There is a difference.
Is there a difference in the actual instrument? Like,
No,
is
it's the same
just the way
instrument.
you
It's
play
all
it,
all
but-
in the swagger of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was actually wondered if there was a slight difference in the actual way you did the strings, or
No,
it's just swag.
It's just
Country
something
swag
something that bluegrass musicians had to throw at it. Violin sounds too highfalutin.
It does. Why not call it a
But
fiddle?
fiddle.
What's a viola?
Fiddling. It's a slightly larger and bassier violin.
So that's something different.
That is
That
something
is, yeah.
different.
Something different.
That was the first instrument that I ever played.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool.
So me and your mom have something kind of in common.
Yeah, just all we need is cello and
Cello, another violin,
Yeah,
and
so-
then
so
we've got a
two violins.
quartet.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Harp.
Yes.
What about a harp?
A harp that's not in a string quartet.
It's not.
But it would
No,
be-
not traditionally.
What would that
If I just
sound
wanted
like
to
with?
play a harp.
So,
strings
well,
and a
have you
harp.
ever performed with a string quartet, or have you ever?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Totally. I mean, it's the most beautiful thing to sing with a string quartet because, string instruments are acoustic instruments, and so when the human voice is sort of blending with these beautiful wood instruments, it always gives me so much inspiration when I'm singing. It's going to come out soon, but I did this thing with nylon.
Oh, nice.
About a month ago. They have this series called Singing in the Shower, and it's like their version of Tiny Desk, sort of, but they decided to film musicians acoustically in cool bathrooms. Like that's becoming their thing, which I think is really sweet. So they asked me to do it, and I was like, oh. So we found this really cool bathroom that had this like huge clawtooth tub in the middle of the bathroom, and like these beautiful tiles, and like the lights were beautiful, and it was big enough that you could fit a string quartet in it. And I was like, well, if we're gonna do this, why don't we just do this big? And so we filmed my song "Till I Hurt You" with a string quartet and a keyboard in this bathroom, and so that should be coming out in the next couple weeks or something.
Yeah,
but that was an
tune
interesting
with the
experience.
crescendos in it must have sounded amazing.
Yeah, it
with
was
the string quartet.
Yeah, and like the acoustics of the bathroom were really good, and it was pretty cool. I mean, like the silly part of it is that it's like a really intense, deep song, and I was literally standing in the bathtub in the middle of the room. So I don't know.
Is that the song with the video with the big skirt?
Yeah, with the big
Yeah.
dress. Yeah.
If you guys
Yeah.
haven't seen that video, "Till I Hurt You," you have to check it out online right now. Grace is wearing this incredible skirt. What was the diameter on that
I
thing?
think it was 35 feet.
35 feet.
Far too much fabric.
So
I think
much.
it's just the right amount.
The video is beautiful. But yes, go to Grace's YouTube channel.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
will find it. Subscribe, like. I'm sorry, I got into a YouTube mode there for a
YouTube
second.
mode? How dare you?
Yeah, not for the podcast.
So
This is
parents
different.
encouraged singing growing up.
Yeah.
Did you sing in church? Did you sing in school?
Yeah, so I started out singing in school. When I was in second grade, I sang at the talent show.
Nice.
I sang a Celine Dion song.
Which one?
Because You Loved Me. I was like, I practiced for weeks. I did pee in my pants on stage, but I was wearing black pants, so it's fine. No one
And you
knew.
were too.
See?
No, I was 7.
Oh,
so I was like,
that's all right.
not okay. But I remember walking on, and I was like, oh my God, I'm peeing in my pants right now. Oh my God. But everything's fine. But then I
But
just
at
blacked out.
7, you had already learned the performance pro tip of
Right.
always wear black.
Always wear black
Yeah.
and
Always
just
black.
keep your cool.
Hides the pee.
It hides the pee, you
Fergie
know?
never learned that, but you did at a young age.
Did Fergie pee in her pants once?
Yeah.
What? Oh yeah, now I'm distantly
Raven
remembering
Sweat?
that. Yeah,
Remember that
it
was
was
on-
like one of the big like internet. Remember the beginning of virality?
Yeah.
And when like the muffin guy, or like and the shoes guy. You remember this?
Yes.
Oh, the shoes guy, yeah.
Okay, I have a question. Then we'll get back to Celine
go
Dion
ahead.
because you love me. E-Bombs World. Remember this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so what is the song? Oh no, I forget. That was like the first viral video that I remember.
Was
of
it
this.
Magical Trevor?
No, but it was a guy singing about a girl named na, 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 here we go again. It's like, oh shoot. Oh, okay, well if anyone's listening, you know, it's like the skinny white dude that's singing a song about it later in the podcast. It'll come to
Maybe we'll
me.
have our research department.
Yeah,
do
we
that.
should have a research
And
department.
the problem is though that I've like tried to, I've brought this up every time someone talks about the early days of viral videos, and
Yeah.
no one knows what I'm talking about. So I'm just trying to put it as far out as I can.
Do you think it
to
was just
find-
really popular among your circle of
Maybe
friends?
that's what I'm, or like in my head, I thought it was a thing.
There were a lot of random things on E-Bomb. I remember discovering those G.I. Joe parodies
Oh,
on
yeah.
E-Bomb's World.
Yeah,
This is more of a
right.
guy thing, though. It's just
Okay.
like, it was the old G.I. Joe public service announcements, and people would overdub them.
Yeah.
And those were fun.
That was the first bad lip reading
Yeah.
of the
Dub
internet.
Smash.
Yeah.
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 Ah.
Yeah. So I guess the performance went well regardless.
Yeah, yeah. So the second grade performance was the first time, and I've said this a lot too, but it really like it stuck with me because my teacher came up to me after I sang, and she like was crying. And as a 7-year-old, I was like, "Oh my God, why are you crying? What did I do?" And she was like, "You know, your voice moved me so much that I brought tears to my eyes." And I remember thinking like, "Whoa, that." You know, I've made the connection for the first time that music and emotion were really connected in a really powerful thing, and that like I might have the, you know, a voice that could help people in some way or could evoke emotion,
Yeah.
you know? And so that was kind of the first time that I was like, whoa, I love, this is like music is beautiful. I love singing.
So there was a moment. You
Yeah,
sort of had
I
a.
think, yeah. I mean, I guess if I had to pinpoint it to something, it would be that moment. Because it was my first time singing on stage, and it was the first time that it was just like, I got the...
Is that the first time you brought someone to tears with your performance?
I guess so. Yeah, because, I mean, that was, yeah. But, and
Yeah,
then
I guess your siblings were angry about it.
yeah, they
about
were
your
probably
singing.
crying in like, please, you know, in pain.
Right.
Back in the day. But I used to tell them, I'd be like, my sassy little 7-year-old or 5-year-old self would be like, fine, I'll stop singing, but you won't get any tickets to my show when I'm a star. And so that was my like comeback to the siblings.
Yeah.
But you've gotten your siblings tickets to your shows, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they've come
we've
to see
mended
you?
our wounds.
That's
now.
good. That's so good to hear.
I know.
Right. Yeah, and like fast forward to now, you're playing shows at Bowery Ballroom.
Mm-hmm.
You've done all this big tour. Refinery's out. So are you working on a new album now?
Yeah, I am.
Awesome.
Which is exciting.
How's that going so far?
It's going great. I'm trying. I'm trying to make like a specific statement with this record. I think it's going to be an EP, and I
Okay.
don't mean statement like it's about. I don't know, drugs.
Power.
Yeah, I don't know.
I like that that's the first thing you went to. What do people make statements about?
Drugs.
Drugs.
Drugs. Everyone's talking about drugs these days.
War on drugs. See,
Yes,
we're
the
getting
war on
there.
drugs.
True.
The band, the government.
Balti may have
thing.
incepted Grace.
I did. I just
Right.
incepted Grace before we
In
started.
my brain.
I said that we could talk about it,
Right, I know.
and we still can. But okay, so is it definitely an EP? Maybe an EP going
Well-
to get in there, record things, and see what happens?
Yeah,
Or-
I'm going in with the mentality that it'll be an EP or like a short record. Because I have this problem, or I don't know if it's a problem, but I tend to write in a lot of different styles, and I love a lot of different types of music, and I love singing different types of music. To me, it all falls under the category of soul, because whether it's like more rock leaning or more gospel sounding or more R&B or more pop soul, I think it fits under that umbrella fine in my head. But I think, you know, an issue that we've had with the Refinery is like when we play it for somebody, or we played it for iTunes in San Francisco. So we met with them a couple months ago, and I was like, okay, I'm going to play you like the 4 biggest songs off the record that kind of give you a range of what the record is like. So we played the song Oil and Gold, a song called Perfect Stranger, As Long as I Wander, and then Till I Hurt You, those 4 songs. Yeah. And the person from iTunes was like, oh my gosh, I really love this, but I feel like, okay, I would put Till I Hurt You with like maybe country or like pop, and then I would take As Long as I Wander and put that in the indie category, and then I would have Perfect Stranger be pop, but then I would have Oil and Gold be like R&B soul. And she was like, so I don't know how to place the record in one genre and like market it right.
It's a classic music person that wants to box you in.
Well,
one genre.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's like
it's so not fair.
That's the music industry working against art.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like I've been fighting it, sort of like, no, it all works together. Because in the live shows, it's like no one ever brings that up. It's always like, it's just music, you know. But I think I mean, whether or not I agree with it, I'm kind of coming to this point where I'm like, okay, for my next thing, I'm going to try really hard to make a very specific sound. Because I do think, like, you know, if you hear someone like, if you hear Banks, you know, you hear one of Banks' songs, and then you kind of, like, decide that her music sounds like what you heard, and if you're going to, like, be a fan of hers, maybe you're expecting to get stuff that falls into exactly what that is. And I think that maybe as an artist you do need to like focus yourself a little bit more to help, I think, like album by album, to help bring people into your fan base. But I don't know.
I also feel like a lot of times that's just also like marketing telling you that this artist is that. Sometimes it may not always be true, but like I get what you're saying. I feel like I've seen a lot of your live shows and I've listened to the record, and I feel like there's definitely an overarching vibe of just like soulfulness coming out. It's like, but at its core, they're all very well crafted songs from the beginning. And one of my favorite parts about your live shows is when you tell people how you came up with either the idea for the song or when you started writing that song, whether it was you on the subway or you just like thinking about something that happened to you that day, and then you got this idea, then words came out. So is this EP coming about the same way? Are you sitting down and writing, or are these ideas coming to you organically, like sort of like at random moments throughout the city or throughout the tour? Yeah,
I mean, it's still coming to me. The ideas for the songs are still coming like sort of randomly. Like a lot of times songs start, for me, I'll just get like words and a melody together at the same time. And then it'll either like be something that's directly related to something that just happened, and then like a song comes into my head, and it's like words and melody for like either the whole chorus or just like one part of a verse. Or sometimes it'll be like really random, and I'll be like, oh, what is that song about? Or like, and you know, is this something? And I usually try to finish it in that moment. Sometimes it feels like, like something, I don't know what is supposed to happen, but like in my day or in the next month, but it feels like I can't write this song until that thing happens that sort of like shows me the rest of the song, if that makes any sense. It's almost like I have to have an experience that's like, oh, that's the chorus, because I had that experience to help me finish that. But I'm doing a lot more co-writing right now to try to like open up my musical ears to working with different people and seeing like if there's something that I haven't tapped into that I might tap into working with someone else. So I've been doing a lot of that.
Well, what has that process been like for you as far as working with other people? And
it's
been as far as the results go, how are you liking that?
I love it. I mean, it's sort of like speed dating, because especially because my manager is really great at hooking up these songwriting sessions, which has been incredible. And so I've been able to do a lot of them. And you like, because there are so many songwriters and everybody is trying to find songwriting partners, you know, a partner that you work really well together with. So when you're writing a song, not only, I mean, if the song turns out great, then that's the only thing that matters. But it's also this sort of like, you have like 4 hours to like get to know each other on the deepest level, because you're like exposing your soul to somebody. And that just is the way it is. So you like go in the room, and especially when working with really like, you know, songwriter pros, like there's tons of songwriters in LA and then a lot in Nashville. And But it's like within 5, you just kind of like, hey, what's up? How's it going? No small talk, just like right into like, okay, well, so I was working on this this melody and, or I was working on this beat. Why don't you check it out? You just like dive right into the song. And then all of a sudden you're both talking about like your most personal experiences, but everyone is just like, or everyone in the room, or if it's just you and the other person, it's just like this understood level of like, yes, we don't know each other, but we're going to make a songwriting baby together. And like, that's just what we're here to do.
I like that.
Songwriting
baby.
Yeah.
It's very romantic.
I feel like you sort of get a sense pretty quickly whether or not you're going to mesh with that person. Like, kind of, maybe not like immediately, but you kind of know pretty quick, right?
Yeah, I think so, because I think that, sometimes it's a battle to, I don't know, I've been having different experiences for every one, but my favorite are the ones that, you come out with an entire song, like everyone's super stoked about it, all the lyrics are done, the melody's done, you have a demo done after like 6 hours tops of working together. And then
How often does that happen?
That's happened to me in the past, probably like 3 or 4 times or 5 times.
Seems like catching lightning in a bottle. That's the only reason I asked.
I know, but it's happened like maybe twice where I'm like super stoked about the song.
Nice.
And then a couple other times where it's like, okay, cool, we have this demo now and I feel like there's a lot of possibilities with it and it needs more work, but like we're 75% of the way
Right.
there.
The skeleton's there.
Yeah, and then the hardest one is when like, when you're working with someone, especially someone that like is either like a legendary songwriter or a famous songwriter, and you go in as an artist and you're like, oh my God, I really want to impress this person and like make them think that I'm a good songwriter, which is not the right way to go into the songwriting session.
Name drop. I'm just kidding.
I can't
you
do
don't
it.
have to.
I could, but like, I don't know. Anyways, but
I don't think,
we'll
I
get
don't think
to it.
Paul would mind.
right.
Just, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm trying to cause
Sir
controversy.
Paul.
Sir Paul was fine with it. No, I've
Which, by the way,
yeah.
he could do worse, right? Come on, Paul.
Let's
get
yeah.
Grace.
Come on. Yeah, seriously, right? Hey, Paul, that would be, I actually would just sit there and just like look at him in awe and just, I wouldn't have anything to say. I'd just be like, nope, no
how's
idea.
it
I wouldn't either because just the thought of Paul McCartney listening to our podcast is a pretty mind-blowing thing.
Oh my God.
Gotta see what those indie music guys are up to.
Please.
I go into every
contact
podcast assuming Paul is listening. So
Is that why
that's
you
a great
dress so
way-
nice?
That's like a good
Yeah.
bar to set for yourself.
I agree. Yeah. You always have to assume the highest.
Yeah.
Well, is he the highest? I don't know.
It's Paul,
Yeah.
Paul McCartney and Kanye
Together.
together.
One thing that
Forever.
I've always wondered, and you know this, I love your band, the guys that you played with at our show in the woods and a lot of the shows I've seen you at. When do you typically bring in the other instruments? Like when you're writing by yourself or with a partner, do you sit at a piano? And at what point do you start to orchestrate the music or bring the instrumentalists into
Yeah.
the fold?
So it depends again on like the type of session I'm doing. So if I'm playing something or writing something alone, I'll write it on guitar or piano usually. And then the first time that we have a show that I feel like we can try, because I like to try out new songs at shows if I can before we go into the studio, which I didn't really do for the Refinery because I wasn't really like in a place to do that. But now after playing the Refinery live so much, I'm like, oh my gosh, I've learned so much about the songs post recording it because of the live versions that we did, that I have this new perspective on how I want to like make, test songs basically. And because
Is that based on how the audience connects with the songs or how the different musicians are bringing their own art?
Yep. Both,
Okay.
totally. Especially because like I love the guys that I play with too, and I don't get to play with those guys 100% all the time because they all play in different bands too. But I see my band. There's like one core group of guys that I see as the band, and when we all get together, like every time we get together, if we haven't played together in a while, everyone's like, "Oh, the band's all back together, the gang's all here," and it's just like it feels like a family reunion, which is
So
awesome.
it's
Elliot,
Mike.
James, Mike, Shauna, and then we've sort of been rotating the keys. So
did Shauna sing with you at So Lauren and I saw you at that church in Austin.
Yes.
At
Yeah.
South
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
Southwest.
Yeah.
The acoustics in there were unbelievable.
Yeah. I know. Oh my
You
gosh.
sounded so good in that room.
Oh,
It was
thanks.
beautiful.
I
Was
love
that
singing in
Shauna?
church. That was Shauna.
Okay.
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah. Yeah. And then
that was an amazing show.
oh, thank you.
Yeah.
That was I grew up singing in church too, and so like hearing my voice inside of a church resonant chamber like makes me feel like I'm connected to my truest self, sort of. And
That's the one thing churches do really well is make very nice rooms with good acoustics.
yeah,
It's probably the best thing that church does.
yeah,
You know?
And helping poor people.
and,
Well,
and helping more people.
And helping poor people. And
Yeah.
acoustics. That's what it's all about. But no,
Hopefully the Pope
I was
isn't
just gonna throw in, because it seems like every member of your band is the most obscenely talented musician that I've ever
I
seen.
know, it's true.
It's no.
That's why we can't. I have to let them fly to their
Of course.
destiny.
You can't chain those birds down.
No, I can't. And it's true. Like, that is exactly how I feel. And that's why that's why we all get along so great, is because it feels like we all are, like, artists coming together and,
Yeah.
like, creating this.
Right.
I feel, like, insanely lucky that I've gotten to play with them, and that I can, every time I get them all together, it's like, I'm literally, I'm giddy. I'm like smiling. If you
Yeah.
see me before shows, you'll just like, I look like a little kid because I'm so happy.
I mean, that's the best part about music is when everyone's working together. It's like you're all just trying to create the best music possible, and you're all working towards the same goal, and it ends up coming out awesome.
But then
Yeah.
I think that's the other part that's really that I appreciate, just because I've played with a lot of different people, and it's very difficult, even with the most talented musicians, finding people that chemistry is there, that you can have
Yeah.
that spark, and really everyone comes together to add something to the song as opposed to trying to play over each other, and listening
Totally.
to each other.
Yeah.
It's all about listening.
That's
Just like
yeah.
relationships are, Sean. He's looking at me funny. So
I haven't learned that part yet about relationships.
it's all learning. We're all learning together right now.
Yeah.
I suppose so. Yeah, that was one of the funnest parts about being in the woods that week.
Yeah.
We've had for the listeners out there that don't know, we did a little video series in Woodridge, New York. We were just actually
Woodridge,
talking
yeah.
about this
At the top of the show, yeah.
Yeah, we took Grace out into I guess it's close to, it's like an hour from where they did Woodstock.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's in the foothills of the Catskill Mountains. It's close to nothing. It's
Yeah, it's close to nothing, but we did a few different performances. We took a bunch of other bands up there too, but I think the highlight of that weekend was the campfire, sitting around that campfire, and
yeah.
everyone just like singing songs that they really wanted to sing, and just like doing like what they love about music. And
Yeah.
I remember Grace and every member of her band, they all just like had one more thing to do that was more incredible than the last thing.
That's true.
And
that happened.
it was the best part of the week. That was a lot of fun.
Oh, it was so much fun. I want to live at that
Yeah.
studio, at Outlier, right?
Yeah.
Outlier Inn.
Outlier
Outlier.
Inn.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, that's my ideal, ideal place to make a record. That sort of setting, and the fact that like on that land, there's places where you can record, places where you can rehearse, places to sleep, and then just like enjoy nature. And that's when I'm playing music in settings like that, I feel like, I mean, that and churches. I
Yeah,
feel like
for
it's
sure.
like
Nature
you're
is
just doing
its
your
own
natural
church.
thing by making music. Yeah, nature is its own church. I'm not religious. I don't want to like. I mean, I am.
No,
I'm
all of my
spiritual. I'm,
spirituality revolves around music. Like, if
Yeah,
it's like seeing, if I see like Keith Moon's drumstick, I'm like, that's magic. That's
Yes.
right there. Or you walk into certain recording studios where certain songs were recorded that you feel connected to. I feel like that gets put into the walls, and that's
Yeah.
like you can feel that energy when you walk in.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm insane. I don't know.
No. I mean, I think, and I think religion is beautiful too. But for me, just like spirituality for me is all about energy. So music is like the quintessential form of energy that I think helps connect people from all different walks of life. Whether you're speaking the same language or not, or whether wherever you come from, like a rhythm and a sound, if it's played with emotion and truth, like resonates with everybody.
Absolutely.
And that's what I think is so beautiful about music.
I like that. A sound played with emotion and truth. That's a very good line.
I almost feel like we have to end, but I don't. We can't.
No.
That's just such a beautiful dismount. Okay.
So coming up after this next album comes out, what's I want to say what's next, but I hate asking that.
It's
to
an
artists
awkward
because
question.
It's like you
It
know
is.
what do you want from everything else? But would you like be looking towards a national tour?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, oh yeah. No, if I could be performing live like every day of the year, that's what I would want to do. So my most specific goal is to get to a place where I can be touring the country and the world, with sold out venues. So whether the venues are 200-person venues or, bigger.
Yeah, 2,000.
Then
Whatever.
I could be, I could make a living doing that. And that's like what the place I want to get to. And we're close kind of, but we still have a little bit to go to get to like that sort of stability.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the 2 shows coming up. There's one at this studio at Webster Hall, right?
Yeah.
And then Bowery Ballroom.
Yes.
With Shadowboxers.
Yes.
Yeah, is that your first time playing with those guys?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, and I saw that. So I discovered them when Justin Timberlake tweeted out their cover of, what was it? Not Sexy Back.
Crimey River?
Push Your Love Girl, I think, right? Yeah.
There you go. That was Lauren, by the way.
Hey.
Lauren, who's filling in as our fact checker and research.
Yeah,
in the
right?
background.
She knows all there is to know about Justin, so.
Yeah.
And
Oh, really?
and honestly, just about music. 'Cause so Lauren in
You're in
the
it
office is you're a part of this now, Lauren.
Don't cover your face. It's a podcast.
Yeah. We'll take pictures of you though. We'll make this really embarrassing. No, but Lauren is the one person around here who will constantly update everyone in the office with all of the shows that are happening around town.
Nice.
Giving us our RSVP alerts, introducing us to the coolest music.
Making us feel cool.
Making me look cool to other people when I bring up the bands that Lauren introduces me to.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Nice.
We love you, Lauren.
So yeah, that should be an awesome show. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. I thought when I saw that they announced the show maybe like 3 months ago or something.
I think so, yeah.
And I saw that they didn't have an opener, and I was like, oh my god, I want to open for them. Like, I think mainly because, A, I love their music, and B, because I think it'd be an amazing show. Like, the 2 of our sounds together, I think would just be
Completely
a nice
works.
treat for people. So I was like, we got to make this happen. So we just reached out to them, and they were like, yeah, for sure. And I have some mutual friends with them too, so I'm pretty pretty stoked about it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I feel like in the near future we're going to be seeing Grace playing at some big festivals, and I feel like a lot of people are going to be really happy to see that.
I think next year. I'm going to call it.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm calling it right now.
'Cause-
Next year,
Honestly, like
the festival world is going to get taken by storm.
your channel, since the number of subscribers you've gotten since we started, you know, our friendship and working with you, like I'm kind of blown away by it, and it's on the strength of the Refinery. Like that record did really well, and the video content you've put out, and I feel like a lot of people need to see you live, and once they do, yeah.
Thank you.
You got to convert them to take it back to religion.
I know.
You got to convert the people.
Yeah, the live show is like, and that's what, you know, I recorded The Refinery like 2.5 years ago, actually, and didn't release it until October, or maybe not 2.5, maybe like a solid 2 years ago. I don't know. Anyways, but we released it October 2014. So like, I'm so happy with it and I love it. But we grew so much since recording it that the live show, I feel like, is this experience that if I can share that with as many people as possible, like that's where I want to live as an artist anyway.
Yeah.
We're thinking about maybe doing some sort of live
Well,
release.
there's some really good stuff. I meant to mention this earlier. The Audio Tree sessions you did
Yeah.
are really good.
Phenomenal.
Yeah,
No,
that's
I'm
fun.
going to go one better than that. I'm sorry to step over you.
They're amazing. Yeah,
Thanks.
I feel like that's a pretty accurate representation of how quality, and that's also all the guys too.
Yeah, that's really true. Yeah, totally. So that's actually a really good point, because Audio Tree was something that I really wanted to do because
Also a
of what I
partner.
just said. Yeah. Who else did it?
Audio Tree, we work with Audio Tree.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, we
Oh,
do.
sweet. Oh, they're the nicest people ever.
Oh,
Have you
they're-
met
they're
them?
great.
Have you
Yeah.
gone to Chicago and seen the
I haven't seen their
No, we haven't been
studio
to
yet.
the
studio?
space.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, it's so great. Yeah, they're amazing.
So
Awesome.
does this mean that there's going to be a live album coming up in the future?
I don't know. Like that was a plan of ours, and then we were like, oh, maybe we don't have the time or resource. Maybe we should just like focus on the next thing instead of trying to do a live record. And but then since we did the Audio Tree and a couple other live videos, we were like, well, maybe that's good enough. So I'd still like, it's not as much of a thing as it was probably like a month ago, but it still exists in my thoughts. Of
So
maybe.
just the same, Ben Swank, Ben Blackwell, Jack White, the rest of the people over at Third Man Records. If you're listening, there needs to be a Blue Room session with Graves.
Oh man.
Yeah,
That would
I don't
be
know what that
phenomenal.
is.
That
but
would be
it sounds
phenomenal.
Cool.
I'll book it. I'll book it tomorrow. How can
Put
we make
all
this
our
happen?
energy into that, Gary.
Gary.
Is this
Real
real
good.
thing?
Is that-
What is
what's
the?
that?
I don't even know what that is.
Third Man. They'll do live performances
Sweet.
in their studio, and then they cut each of their live shows to vinyl.
Oh my god!
And then
really?
there's limited edition black and blue split vinyl, and then there's regular black vinyl, and there's really cool photography that goes along
my
with it. But the
gosh.
artists that they pick are not on your level.
Oh,
But they're great. No, it's a really cool series. So I think it'd be a good.
I think
That
that
would
sounds
be
amazing.
amazing. Oh my gosh! Yeah, if anyone's listening, if you guys are, I would love to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's at Grace Weber on Twitter. Is that right?
it's at Grace Weber Music.
At Grace Weber Music on Twitter.
And
All
then,
right, there we go.
And then before we go, I wanted to also point everyone's attention to the duets series you do on your channel. Also,
Yeah.
we were watching earlier the Beatles cover you did.
Oh
in New
yeah,
Orleans.
yeah.
That was beautiful.
Well, and actually, Jameson is a drummer,
Yeah.
and he is releasing a record on, I believe, Concord is the label, but I'm not positive. But he's releasing a record June 23rd, I think, and it's going to be amazing. Jameson is like one of the most musical people I've ever met.
Yeah, your voices together was perfect.
When he's playing drums on all the shows at the end of June, because
Oh,
James
nice.
is going to London, and so Jameson is going to be playing for everything happening at the end of June. So he'll be singing. So actually, like the band that's going to be the end of June, everybody sings, and everybody is actually almost a solo artist
Yep.
too. So it's going to be like,
We should mention everyone else's band. So
Yeah.
Jameson, he's a solo artist.
yep, Jameson Ross.
Okay.
And
And then there's
Elliot
his band is
Skinner.
Third Story.
Yep, their band Third Story, and they're like blowing up right now, which is incredible.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, on the strength of they covered a Sam Smith song,
Yeah.
and then they've been doing a bunch of other stuff on
And then
YouTube
you have
that's
a
been
cover
getting a lot of
with
notoriety.
Elliot doing Stay, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it's awesome because when the Third Story video blew up, then people started searching for Elliot videos, and I think the Stay cover is like one of the only well, he has some videos, but there aren't very many of Elliot.
There's not a lot. I remember we were watching his Kennedy Center
His Kennedy
Honors
Center-
video.
oh, yes.
Kennedy
It's
Center
on YouTube.
Honors. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
it's him when he was like, I think like 18.
Really?
maybe?
Oh, is he singing Autumn Leaves?
Is what?
Is he singing Autumn Leaves?
I don't know. I'm
think
going to
so.
say yes.
But yeah, it's really
Yes.
good though. Yeah, I know. Oh man, yeah. There's some stuff that the two of us did that's on there that in like the depths of YouTube that you shouldn't find because it's like we were.
So if you find
a little
yourself in a
tipsy.
Grace Weber YouTube rabbit hole, you might find it.
No,
Well,
but just
you-
turn
yeah.
away.
And then Mike, we can't forget Mike.
Mike.
Yeah, Mike Squilante is a guitar player and singer, and he's been playing with Melanie Martinez for the past year too.
Awesome.
Who's from The Voice.
Right on.
And it's actually so funny because at the Webster Hall show, my set is so it's part of New Music Seminar,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm part of like the top 3 on the Verge or whatever,
Yeah.
which
that's-
is cool. Oh, do you know? Or you guys are
Well, yeah. Well, we can talk later about that, but I may have been part of the selection committee.
sweet. That's awesome. Nice.
All
No
of a sudden,
bias.
a podcast has become some sort of grand
The best
conspiracy.
part is that I didn't nominate you. Someone already had.
Oh,
I just
nice.
seconded it. So many people in New Music Seminar love
Oh,
you.
that's very nice. Thanks. So Mike is playing with me from like 10:15 to 10:45, and then Melanie is playing from 10:45 to 11:15 or something. And I texted Mike, and I was like, "Wait, shit! Like how? Or, oops, shoot."
You can say shit.
we can do that
This is
on
in
podcast.
radio. You can say fuck. You can say whatever you want.
Okay.
Go wild.
It's gonna get real dark. And
Good.
it's like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, no, Mike, we were just texting, and he was like, "I'm just gonna have to book it. I don't know what else there is to do." So
That's amazing.
he'll be playing, like, he'll walk onto the stage with Melanie, just like sweating. But yeah, so Mike, and he's also working on a musical right now, which is
musical?
like, yeah, and it's amazing. So
Love it.
you will hear about it at some point. I don't know exactly. They're still in the writing stage,
Okay.
but they have like some investors now. Some like people are buzzing about it. It's called Lucifer, and it's the story of the Bible through the devil's perspective. So like, I guess a little bit of like wicked, the
It sounds like Gnosticism.
yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
Wait, is that a musical?
No,
I mean, I know what
Gnosticism is a
but-
sect of Christianity that is the like in the most distilled down form is that the God of the Bible is actually the devil, and that the devil of the Bible is actually the good guy.
Oh.
Because he's the one who gave humans free will, and he kills a lot less people in the Bible. And so the Catholic Church
interesting.
kind of buried that sect of Christianity. This has become a very religion-heavy
I know.
podcast all of a sudden.
We're
But
gonna be-
it's no, I don't know. It's a fun
That is
thought
It's
experiment.
actually really interesting,
It's an
and
interesting take.
I mean, and I'm super. So I was thinking about the musical today for some reason, and because I was texting with Mike, and I was thinking like, okay, in some ways, like the thought of like, okay, let's tell a story of the Bible through the devil's perspective. Like you would think, oh yeah, that could be a cool musical, but I'm like, how the hell do the no pun intended?
I see what you did there.
How do they pull that off? Like without offending people, but like still it's gonna be edgy. I know that, and I think it's like a little funny, but without being like too religious or like And Mike is trying to find that like balance between all of those
Yeah.
things, and so I think it's gonna be really cool.
I think you should not be afraid of offending people. I think
That's
think
true.
you have to go
Maybe he's
in.
not. I mean, I'm sure that they're getting. I mean, I know it's really, really good, and I know that they're super excited about
Nice.
it. And so, anyways, once it's on Broadway, everyone go check it out.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Grace, thank you so much.
Thank you for
So,
having me.
so wait,
guys.
before we go, Grace, for anyone who's listening, how can they find you? Where
Yeah.
are you on the internet?
It's all Grace Weber Music with one B. So like put an @ in front of it or a / in front of it, and
Right
you'll
on.
find, or just Google Grace Weber and you'll find everything.
Yeah, and
that you need.
we'll post all of her links when we post this.
Yeah.
Indie creators, thanks again everyone for downloading. Thanks everyone for listening. Of course, thanks to Grace Weber. If you guys haven't checked it out yet, her album is called The Refinery. It's available everywhere music
Go
is
get it.
available.
Go get it.
YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, all those places.
Apple Music, Tidal. We got to start including a lot of new things now.
Oh, geez, we don't have to
There's so
include
much going on.
Tidal.
We're not going to get
So
into the business
much.
aspect of this, but we are going to say go listen to Grace's record
Yes.
by any means necessary.
Thanks, guys.
Grace, thank you so much.
Thank you, and shout out to Indie Music. You guys are some of the coolest people in the music industry that I know. And just so everyone knows, when I came here, they put 2 little like toy kitties right in front of the microphone, or they're like really tiny, because they know that I love cats, and I have 2 cats, and
We wanted
that's
to
just
put
like
you
the
at ease.
heart that they
It
have,
is.
you know.
We
So
love
I just
cats.
want I'm gonna put a picture of it on Instagram, so just look out for
that's
that.
Wonderful. Love it. All right. We'll put some pictures on Instagram too. Grace, thanks again.
Thanks, guys.
Grace Weber Music everywhere on the internet. Go listen to The Refinery, and we'll see you next time.
Bam. That was so much fun. Grace is the best. Guys, make sure you check out her album. We were talking about it on the show. It's called The Refinery. It's out now everywhere music is available. Make sure you check that out.
Yep, Grace is going to be in the studio on tour. Check out Grace Weber Music everywhere on the web to find her and see when she is coming to a venue near you.
Yeah, awesome. I know she's doing a date in New York City later this year, so please look out for tour dates in your cities. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, and check back soon for more indie creators.
Thanks, everyone. Peace out.